Hi, it's Rick Whittington from Whittington Consulting, and today I wanted to give you just a very brief video on why inbound marketing campaigns fail. So you might be asking yourself, why does a campaign fail? What are the things that I need to look out for? Why would we not be seeing expected results? So let's go through a few of those things right now. So the first thing, and I think personally the most important thing, is not starting with revenue results in mind first. So before you start implementing your inbound marketing strategy, you really should be establishing goals that guide the activities that you're going to participate in. We have a business analysis process, for example, that we run not only for our own company, but for also our clients. And by going through and looking at company revenue, the amount of leads that you're generating, try to figure out and reverse engineer the actual revenue process. That gives us a really solid idea of what kinds of activities that you need to participate in order to reach your goals. So not starting with revenue results in mind is probably the number one thing that we see. Number two would be poor audience targeting. If you're not targeting the right audience, your campaign is probably not going to produce results. You need to understand your audience. You need to create content that speaks to their interests and needs. A lot of times you can do your own research by talking to your sales team, your customer service team, and really learning who your clients are, who your customers are, and what their needs are. The third thing we see is ineffective content. This is a really big issue in some cases. No one's going to get it precisely right every single time. But even if you're targeting the right audience, if your content is not engaging, it's not helpful, it's not educational, it's probably not going to be effective. So your content marketing needs to provide value to your audience and be relevant to their interests. Number four is going to be inadequate promotion. You can't just create content and expect people to show up at your doorstep. You need to promote your content, get it in front of the right people. If you're not promoting your content effectively, your campaign is unlikely to be seen by your potential customers. Number five would be lack of consistency. And this is a big one that we see. So inbound marketing is a long-term strategy. This is not something where you can put out a few blog posts and you can win new business from that. It requires consistency. What you're trying to do is you're trying to build a volume of information, customer-facing information, for your potential customers to consume. And that requires consistency. If you have large gaps between publishing and promoting content, it can absolutely wreck your campaign. You really need consistency in order to win at inbound marketing. The sixth thing we see is just not having the necessary skills. So an inbound marketing strategy requires several skill sets, and those skill sets are not common within one person on your team. So if you've got one person trying to run an inbound marketing strategy, it could be failing because there are several skill sets that are required to execute an inbound marketing campaign. So if your team members don't communicate proactively, if they don't work well together, if you're trying to rely on just one person to do everything from the planning to the execution to web design and development and social media and email and data analysis. I mean, if you have one person trying to do all of that, it's probably going to fall flat and things are going to fall through the cracks. So number seven would be poor measurement and analysis. So it's really critical that as you're going through the process of running an inbound marketing strategy, you have to measure the success of your campaign and the individual components of the campaign and then make adjustments based on what you learn. You're probably not going to get it right from square one. And that's true whether you work with an agency like ours or whether you work for, working the campaign for yourself. So if you're not tracking and analyzing your results, you're probably not going to be able to optimize your campaign for success. One of the things that you need to be working on is making sure that you have the right key performance indicators. You're reporting on those on a regular basis. You're looking at the trend analysis and you're making some course corrections from that. So number eight is going to be competition. If your industry is highly competitive, especially if you have other companies in your space who are very aggressive at content marketing or inbound marketing, it can be very difficult to stand out and get noticed. So you're going to need to get creative with your content and your promotion strategies to cut through the noise there. Number nine would be, and then the last thing is just technical issues. So this would be technical issues specifically with your website or your marketing automation tools. So if there's any issues there, it can produce unintended effects. Things could break. You might not be getting lead notifications. Lead scoring might not be working, or it just could be that your website is incredibly slow, or there's errors on your website, or it's not ADA compliant. There's several things that, from a technical perspective, that could be wrong and could be sending customers away from your website and towards a competitor website. So just make sure everything is functioning correctly and that your website is optimized. So I hope you enjoyed the too long, didn't read version of this blog post today. And if you have any questions or you'd like to talk to our team about getting some inbound marketing help, whether that's just planning your campaign, what you need to be thinking about to start a campaign for the first time, or whether it's just a digital marketing strategy and setting a foundation for results, our team can help with that. Feel free to reach out to us, and I hope our team can be helpful.